So I'm going to play a traditional kind of song. It's a gospel song that I wrote, and because I found myself in a lot of situations where you could use a gospel song, kind of like a lot of church coffee houses. Anybody here spend a lot of time with folk music? You probably spend a lot of time in church basements. Unitarians are good at hosting stuff like that, and because you don't have to be really clear about your politics. It can be kind of vague politics. And a lot of Methodist church I'm doing lately. I still haven't figured it all out, see, because my bar mitzvah training didn't really prepare me as well as it might have for the amount of time I'm spending in churches. But I did use what little I had to write this little gospel song. I just figured stay really close to the gospel story. You won't get yourself into any trouble at all. So if you feel the Spirit move you, if you feel like witnessing during the song, by all means, go ahead and do it. And the nice thing is that you're all in the dark, so you can just sing as loud as you want. Well, Jesus was a homeless lad with an unwed mother and an absent dad, and I really don't think he would have gotten that far if new Pat and Jesse had followed that star. So let's all sing out praises to that long-haired radical socialist Jew. That's your part. So let's all sing out praises to that long-haired radical socialist Jew. Hey, that was really good. Pete Seeger would be proud. Oh, when Jesus taught the people, he would never charge a tuition fee. He just took some fishes and some bread and served up free school lunches instead. So let's all sing out praises to that long-haired radical socialist Jew. Well, he healed the blind and made them see. He brought the lame to their feet. Yeah, rich and poor, anytime, anywhere. Just pioneering that free health care. So let's all sing out praises to that long-haired radical socialist Jew. Well, now Jesus hung with a low-life crowd, but those working stiffs sure did him proud. Yeah, some were murderers, thieves, and whores, but at least they didn't do it as legislators. So let's all sing out praises to that long-haired radical socialist Jew. Little modulation coming. Well, now Jesus lived in troubled times. The religious right was on the rise. Well, now what could have saved him from his terrible fate? Separation of church and state. So let's all sit up praises to that long-haired radical socialist Jew. Well, you know, sometimes I fall into deep despair when I hear all those hypocrites on the air. Oh, but every Sunday gives me hope. Well, pastor, deacon, priest, and pope are all singing out their praises to some long-haired radical socialist Jew. They're all singing out their praises to. Oh, bass in there, that's good. Some long-haired radical socialist Jew. Thank you.
A7, fellatio. Wonderful. Oh, hello, and welcome again to the Alexander Sanford Show. I am Alexander Sanford. Tonight, we'll be looking at a folk concert series from sometime in the early 90s to the late 80s. We're not really sure which. Also with me tonight is the award-winning director, Dennis Whitney. He'll be on, we'll talk to him, and beat around his bush a little bit. Stay tuned.
I was young, all I wanted was the moon. I hung that National Geographic map in my room. In 7th grade, Mythology 101, they called me Little Endymion. You remember me now. Space was the object of all my country's desire, and the skies of my childhood were laced with launching pad fire. Oh, and I was the boy who stood under street lamps at night, waiting for those strange blue lights to come take me away. Shoot the moon, set me down in a sea of tranquility, just the stars and me. Shoot the moon, give me a home in the 21st century, a little less gravity, I could fall free. Shoot the moon. If I'd been 10 years older, I might have been tripping on Yasker's farm, but I probably would have been a phantom flying over Vietnam, in a dream of altitudes where blue turns black, and never looking back at the pieces on the ground. But I saw the choppers rise out of Saigon's fall, and my fingers traced the writing on the long black wall, and I knew there'd be no spaceships in my future. I guess I was born a little late, or way too soon. Shoot the moon and set me down in a sea of tranquility, just the stars and me. Shoot the moon and give me a home in the 21st century, a little less gravity, we could fall free. Shoot the moon. Oh, and 250,000 miles isn't really that far. Yeah, it took me 2 Chevys, but I've done it in a car. Driving from town to town with this old guitar, built in 1969, one small step for mankind. Shoot the moon and set me down in a sea of tranquility, just the stars and me. Shoot the moon and give me a home in the 21st century, a little less gravity, it is our destiny. Shoot the moon. Oh, shoot the moon. Oh, oh, oh. This song ended up being a song about slowing down. It's called The Snail. I am the snail. I don't move fast, but if you look again, I won't be where you found me last. I am the snail, pale as a memory. I am the roaring in the labyrinth beside the sea. I am a helmet on a shoe. I am the secret smell of you. I am the voices in your ear that call your name year after year. I am patience. I am proportion. I am progress without fortune. And if I love, who would know? Even for a slow lover, I am slow. And if I dream, how could you dream it? All your flash of inspiration only chars the spirit. In a world of salt, in a world of glass, I have spent a whole night climbing up a blade of grass. I am the snail. I will get where I'm going. I am the speed your hair and nails are growing. I am the snail because I move all of creation's moving. I know that it's a minor point, it's still worth proving. I've been emboldened to play this song because Barbara Walters talked about it for a couple hours during prime time on the television set, and people are still interested, so who am I to say no? Well, everybody wants to see Bill's dick. If what they say is true, he must be thick. Paula Jones testifies that she has seen the defendant rise, though his lawyers say he's got it licked. Still, everybody wants to see Bill's dick. Everybody wants a peek in Clinton's jock. Oh sure, go on, pretend you're really shocked. No one balks at corporate welfare, campaign finance laws, or health care. Now that they got Monica to talk, well now everybody wants a peek in Clinton's jock. Well, the executive branch is on our minds, while the legislative branch is right up our behind. Sorry. Well, everybody wants to see Willie's worm. It may be a fallacy, but I stand firm. A penis is more prurient when it's hanging on a president. That's how he got his second term. 'Cause everybody wants to see Willie's worm. Watch him squirm. Everybody wants to see the White House staff put a laugh. Before the next election, we want to see the first erection. No one's got a conscience left to prick. 'Cause everybody wants to see, well, everybody else but me. Yeah, everybody wants to see, everyone, Bill's dick.
Alex, you never learned. I swear to God, I told you every time we shot together that it's composition, it's art. You never learn, you never listen. That is why we don't work together anymore.
Dennis, at least I know which hole to put it in.
Show me a hole I can't put it in.
Oh, I'll show you holes that are far too large for you. Good evening. I'm here tonight with Dennis Whitney, acclaimed director in the field. Dennis, it's been almost 10 years since we worked together last. How have you been?
Alex, it's good to see you as always. Myself, I have been well, I've been busy, and I've been living.
Living, is that what you call it?
It is.
Last I heard from you, you were working on webcam videos with 18-year-old girls just barely out of high school. Is that still what you have going on?
Alex, I haven't done that for years. You must understand, that is amateur's work. I am not an amateur. I am experienced. I'm a director, Alex. You never, ever understood that. All you did was drink. All you did was cause trouble, ruin my set,
That was a good day.
ruin my stars.
She was ruined before she was on set.
She was not. I tested her myself.
And who's to say that I ruined her? I got to her after you did.
Yes, you did, didn't you? That's usually how it goes, isn't it, Alex?
Except for that one time in '89 when we ended up getting to her at the same time.
Yes, there's always that, isn't there?
So, we've worked together for the better part of 28 years, Dennis.
Yes. Been quite the long trip, if you will.
Yes, it has. Yes, it has. 25 years ago, in '87, worked on White Sauce.
White Sauce. What a film that was. Back in the day when there wasn't any rules at all. It was like the Wild West of film.
Not to be confused with the Westerns you tricked me into doing.
No, that was a different story, for sure.
Then in '94, we did Midsummer.
Oh, Midsummer's Night Cream. Classic. A classic.
Wasn't quite the feel-good film we were hoping for, but it,
No, it was not.
it busted a bit more than a few blocks.
Oh, it did. Got a little messy at the end, didn't it, Alex?
Yes, it did. You
Didn't
li-
expect her to react that way, did you, Alex?
Oh, I didn't. And you were the
No,
most
but
meticulous
I
little
did.
bastard ever.
Ah, of course I was. How do you expect me to make a film from nothing, I tell you, nothing, without meticulous, without quality? It's art, Alex, that you never understood art. That is why I am the director and always will be, and you are nothing but a pretty face.
For all of our low-budget pictures, you are still the same high-maintenance asshole you have always been.
Yes, I am, Alex. Don't we know it?
Yes, we do.
Don't we know it?
But we reunited in 2002 for our last film, Lord of the G-Strings.
Yes. Quite a film that was, I must say. Shaniqua, I never expected Shaniqua to act like that.
When you put the whole cast of women in just G-strings, I don't know how you could expect them to act any differently.
What would you have me do on a desert island with nothing but 7 women?
Apart from drink,
Yes, Alex, apart from drink. That's all you ever do. Drink, drink, drink. Oh, it's Tuesday morning, it's snowing, I'll have a drink. It's Thursday, I have homework, I'll have a drink. It's Saturday, my director wants me to do something. Oh, I'll have a drink. You wonder why I fired you 7 times. 7. Did you forget that, Alex?
and
Did
yet you rehired me the next day to finish my scenes.
Well, no one else has what you have. I can't deny that, as much as I would like to.
Oh, I know. Tolkien and Golding are rolling in their graves still. But we've put our differences aside this year. And in the summer, the next film will be coming out.
Yes, it will, Alex. I'm very excited for that. Edgar Allan O.
Would you like to tell the folks at home a little bit about that?
I would love to. The main star, really, is the Crow. You can't ignore the Crow.
You're going...
It's art, Alex. You never understand. It always has to be about the star. Always has to be about whoever is in the film, whoever gets the biggest paycheck. No, Alex, it is not about that. There's more to life than the paycheck.
puts the bird ahead of me.
Never
That's why we stopped working
understands.
together.
I can't teach this man.
We're going to move to the fall film. Cherry Poppins.
Classic. Made in the 70s, you know.
And remade for 2012.
Oh, yes. But with a twist.
You hired... What? You hired a mixture of cougars and grandmothers.
Well, you never will recreate the experience with having grandmothers and wild beasts in the same room. Cougars are the kings of the jungle. You don't understand the dynamics, Alex. You never understood the dynamics.
Dennis, I'm not talking about the cat.
I am. You might have read the script and saw a cougar and assumed it would be a star, as you always do. But no, Alex. No, it is not a human. It is a cougar.
I'm glad I had a minor role in this film.
Not anymore, Alex. I forgot to tell you. You've been replaced.
Somehow I knew that was coming, just like every other film we have ever worked on.
Don't throw...
It didn't work half as well as I'd hoped it would.
Well, that's what you say all the time, isn't it, Alex?
Rootsworth, I understand we're running out of time. We'll be right back.
It's kind of a messy time of the year in Vermont. Mockingbird kept me up all night, working on his repertoire for spring. And the river breaks free to make its way to the sea again. And the frost gives one last heave, and it's easy to believe that winter's over, but it's just mud time in Saxton's River. When the snow melts, you better watch your step, walking on the shoulders of the road. And the smell fills the air of whatever the dogs did there months ago. And even old couples brawl, and the house feels as small as a child with a fever, and it's mud time in Saxton's River. Beware the Ides of March, they say, and that's advice I take to heart. Even kings have been undone, and it was all for letting down their guard. So baby, don't let go. The cold wind's got to blow a little longer, and it's mud time in Saxton's River. Only mud time in Saxton's River. learned in college you're supposed to do thought experiments. Well, I was hoping for another World Series with the Indians versus the Braves. I love the tomahawk chops and the teepees, the war whoops with the waves. But I'm really looking forward to this series when we finally get to choose between the Detroit Negroes and the fighting New York Jews. I can just see the headlines now. Negro steal opener. Jews trade for late draft pick. Yeah, come on, we'll all have a good time. Doesn't matter if you're white or a goy. All the left field stands will be shouting, yo, echoed by a doleful oi. And everyone will want to see Sambo do the moonwalk when Detroit scores. And at the 7th inning stretch, the Jew fans will all get up and do the horror. Have a cold beer. Have a hot dog. Have a Nagila, whatever. Well, I'm sure it's going to be a close contest. The competition is going to be fierce between the vendors selling bagels and cream cheese and the ones yelling, fried chicken here. And you can get one of those big hooded sweatshirts that say, Detroit #1, no jive. I'm going to get me one of those big plastic noses and start chanting, let's go tribes. Marketing possibilities are endless. Yeah, I'm Jewish. What makes you ask? Well, now, you may say that I'm crazy, and you may call me a bore, but I think it's a shame if sports teams' names can't have local color anymore. Yeah, the JDL and the NAACP are going to raise a fuss, but I wish they'd keep the politics out of baseball and stop bothering the rest of us. See, now, New York's big problem is going to be beating those San Francisco ferries. They blow it every time. Underneath God's old big sky, a man stands bound on stony ground, cut and beaten, left to die. Arms lashed wide, crucified. Mercury falls like an angel. The wind cries all night through the fence. Oh, Laramie, lacrimae, Laramie, all across the pastures of plenty, where the cowboys embrace in their tents. Whose shepherd was he then? You cursed his wounds and the young men he knew. His crime was loving them, but the fire he drew was for loving you. Mercury falls, falls like an angel, and the wind cries all night through the fence. Oh, Laramie, lacrimae, Laramie, all across the pastures of plenty. where the cowboys embrace. Oh, Laramie, Lacrimae, Laramie, all across the pastures of plenty, where the cowboys embrace in their tents.
I still say we should have had a full virgin cast. You prick.
Well, you'll never be a director.
Nope. That's why I am better in front of the camera than you will ever be.
Yes, that's why I will always fire you, and you'll never fire me.
Wonderful. We're back with Dennis Whitney. Dennis, tell us a little bit about the inspiration for your films.
My inspiration. Well, Alex, I get inspiration from one thing and one thing only. One, I make a cup of coffee.
I suppose you still take that like you take most of your men.
Absolutely black.
Mm-hmm. With a slight spoonful of sugar.
Oh, please. Sugar is so last century.
Last century. Okay. And what happens after you make this cup of coffee,
After the coffee,
Dennis?
I walk to the bathroom. 3, I walk from the bathroom. Do not use the bathroom.
Do not use.
5, 6, and 7 are all the same. Do not think, do not feel, do not see, hear, or touch anything.
That was definitely the problem with you in front of the camera. You couldn't ever feel any of it.
No, Alex, you'll never understand. Never. Always worried about the tangible things in life, while you don't appreciate art for what it is. The wispy, ethereal that surrounds us at every moment, that engulfs us at the moments of pure passion and ecstasy, and drags us to the depths of depression. You'll never be a director.
At least I know what ecstasy feels like. So let's talk about your favorite color.
My favorite color is blue. Because blue is the one color in all the colors that has no remorse. Blue will never regret anything it's done, anything it will do in the future. It is pure in its intention, Alex. You don't understand. I can see it in your eye at this very moment. You don't understand. Art.
What's your favorite position to film me in?
Well, you, Alex, to film you, my favorite position. Alex, to be honest, I don't like filming you. I don't.
Somehow I expected that answer.
But the world, for some reason, likes to watch you. So imagine my position, okay? As someone who appreciates art, having to hire someone like yourself.
This guy.
Yes, precisely. This guy. Absolutely mind-boggling. I don't know how You do it.
In 11 different positions. The favorite film you've directed or produced?
My favorite film. That is a question for the ages, Alex. Well, while it could be In and Out Again.
The 92 film?
No, that was made in 97. You were not a part of that one, Alex. Fortunately, actually. I don't want to know what you would have done to that film.
That's right. I remember getting that script in 92.
Yes.
Reading through it and expecting wholeheartedly to be cast. And then, of course,
bet you would expect that. I love it.
Prick.
Makes me laugh.
Then in 94, we had our disagreement.
Yes, we did. It wasn't my fault Cynthia liked me a lot more than she liked you. I only expedited the situation.
Yes. Did you have to buy her knee pads after all the time she spent around you?
No, I did not care that her knees hurt.
You don't care about anyone. That's the funny part.
I do
don't
not
care about anyone.
I do not care about anybody. Because you know what, Alex? I am the director. I am in charge.
All right.
Yes.
What was the moment you realized you wanted to be in this business?
The moment. You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
Go for it, sister.
You better sit tight and hold your panties. It's going to be a ride. I was 7 years old, living in my parents' house, of course. Now, they had just gone to bed, and I was feeling, how do I put this, adventurous. It was boiling in my blood. I could not sit there and stare at the wall like I usually do. No. I had to go out and smell the fresh air of the night. Yes, that's what I did. I walked out the front door at 1 in the morning, and I saw something I thought I would never see.
And what would that be?
Well, standing in the middle of the road, I was a wee little chap, yes, okay? Coming towards me was no automobile, no. This was a crowd, no, a herd of nude college students, yes. It was the famed Naked Mile Run. Perhaps you've heard of it, Alex.
The male naked mile run?
Yes, Alex, they were all male. Mm-hmm. So there I was, a wee little chap, yes, wee little Irish laddie, if you will, lying on my back, staring up. And what I saw was no night sky, no. It was 1,000 bouncing male genitalia.
I'm sure you enjoyed that very much, Dennis.
At the time, no.
How about now?
Now, no comment.
And I'm sure you're still getting comments about being a wee little chap to this day.
You'd like that, wouldn't you, Alex? Except I stole your wife. Didn't think I was going to bring that up, did you, Alex?
After all these years, he still brings this up.
Yes.
You're a son of a bitch.
I'm still with her, am I not?
As far as
I mean,
can tell.
don't get me wrong, Alex. She isn't the only lady I'm with. Don't you worry. I haven't lost my touch. But she is a constant in my life that I can only thank you for.
How has Sarah been?
Sarah's her name. That's so. Interesting. I should probably start calling her that. Well, she's doing well, I think. I haven't seen her for quite some time now. I do wonder what she's up to day to day. I suppose, yes, she's probably sold that mansion by now. Yes.
Still messing around with the pool boy?
Oh, of course. What am I to do in my spare time? Would you have me read a book, Alex? Would you have me read a book?
Well, Mr. Charles Kingsley's book might be interesting enough for you to read. Maybe you'd understand what acting is like.
Acting?
True
You
portrayal
think I
of the
don't
human
know?
condition. The human condition.
The human
You'll never understand
I'll show
that. I don't know.
Human condition. You don't know what it's like to deal with people like you. To deal with 7 of you at once.
It's actually quite nice. I deal with myself on a regular basis.
Yes, I bet you do. Without Sarah, is that her name? Sarah? Yeah, you would deal with yourself quite a bit, I presume.
I hope you get hit by a bus.
I'm sure I will.
And what is your favorite pastime?
My favorite pastime? Well, in the past weeks, when I get bored of said pool boy, I like to take dangerous amounts of hallucinogens and wander the forests of California.
God, I remember that.
Those were the days, weren't they, Alex?
Oh yes, that 3-week stint in 2002 where no one could find you because you were tripping out in the
yes.
woods somewhere.
Finding my vision, you'll never understand.
Wonderful.
Do you see that? No, it's gone. There it is again. No, it's gone.
You wouldn't happen to have taken anything before you got on camera, did you?
Today? Yes, of course. Of course, Alex. How do you think I operate day to day?
Just wonderful.
You are quite the spectacle of human nature. You know that, Alex.
Fantastic.
Yes.
We're going to move on to the last segment, one that is going to show up for all of my guests, be they special or special. We have our 5 colors here. Dennis,
Yes.
pick one.
Pick one color, you say? Well, I picked the blue one.
Now pick another one.
Well, I'm inclined to pick the white one, but I'm going to pick the black one.
And pick a third one.
You've asked me to pick a third color, Alex. With this, I must say I like the green one.
Like the green one. Likes the green one. All right. That's wonderful. Dennis, it has always been a business doing pleasure with you.
As always, Alex, as always.
You prick.
You son of a bitch, you.
We'll be right back.
Still, I kind of find it inspiring and, you know, still an interesting question. Whatever happened to Mozart's money? Where the hell did it go? They say he spent it all on wine and women, but even so, I know a guy who wrote a song for Garth Brooks and now he's got it made for life. Mozart never really made a lot of money, and that's what I tell my wife. I'd like to know what happened to Poe's investment portfolio. Maybe he walled it up in that crypt with his good friend Fortunato. I know a guy who knows Stephen King who'll be a sheik in the afterlife. Mr. Poe never made much dough, and That's what I tell my wife. I accost her with tales of Stephen Foster and the visionary blind Blake. I say, honey, you can't count the money that a genius doesn't make. Wallace Stevens made a fortune in Hartford, a big insurance man. William Carlos Williams was a pediatrician, and T.S. Eliot worked in a bank. Now, time will tell if they were poets as well, or if they're just big books on the shelf. But most of my heroes never made a lot of money, and that's what I keep telling myself. But you really don't have to worry about me. I'm doing really fine, and this year I'm applying for an NEA grant. That should solve everything. Whatever happened to Mozart's money? And what about Van Gogh? I tell you, there's more than blood that's red in the books of Edgar Allan Poe. Imagination in large denominations is something you can never earn. But the poor damn souls who made Mozart's money still got money to burn. Yeah, the poor damn souls who made Mozart's money, they still got money to burn. Mozart's money, we're burning Mozart. Oh, why you think it's so hot down there? Yeah, ever wonder about the royalties from the magic flute? I do, man, I wonder what happened to Mozart's money. Yeah, all right.
On the next episode of The Alexander Sanford Show, Joseph Russell, talent scout, will be joining me. We'll talk about new up-and-comers and a few of his favorites. Plus, we will finish out the Unicorn series that we have on tape down here at WNYF-TV. Stay tuned.
I am waiting for the good humor man. Come driving his white truck down my street again. And the neighborhood kids doing skits on their bicycles over and over again. We were all out of school, just trying to be cool. Had to ride to the Y and go pee in the pool. For the good humor man, waiting for the good humor man. I am waiting for the good humor man. With his rock and roll haircut, his tattooed girlfriend, selling rockets on a stick and flicking out his change as if nothing could change. And at night on the tube, they would walk on the moon, and nobody cared how much money we blew. Waiting for the good humor man, waiting for the good humor man. Oh, now, all right, they'd sing, yeah, yeah, yeah. I am waiting for the good humor man. In the dark days of summer, cellar teams win, and some go off to war, and the rest burn down the store, and the dream grows dim. But he's ringing his bell, and the kitchen doors slam, and the kids all turn out with our quarters in their hands. Oh, waiting for the good humor man, waiting for the good humor man. Oh, waiting for the good took her 8 winters to feed the whole back lot, hand split into the belly of a wood stove. Just as well, she'd say, one more hole in the roof than she had buckets for. And the house disappeared in the rush of '88. It was a flood of prospectors, old credit at the gate. She salvaged some rafters, built herself a raft, and floated on down the Millbrook to Thread City. Thread City. Scrambling after money and clutching at her kids and cursing all the names of their fathers, she took a 3-room flat, 2 flights up and 1 block back of Main Street. And the boys were dumb as dirt bikes, but the girl was sharp as glass. Behind the Dunkin' Donuts counter, where all the old men made their passes, but her mother told Linda she'd see she got to college. Linda knew no one ever gets out of Thread City. Thread City, where the looms of gold in the factories have turned to stone. Foreman's houses on the hill dream of Queen Victoria still. Thread City, where the looms of gold in the factories have turned to stone. Haunted houses on the hill dream of Queen Victoria still. Linda gave her love to a college boy who thought he was in love with the working class. From his room some nights she can barely see the lights of Thread City. At home that spring, she knew he'd never last. Was the rebel flags on the bumpers and the gun racks in the cabs, and the way that he'd shoot her, that sidelong look when they passed the hotel hooker in Thread City. Thread City, where the looms of gold in the factories have turned to stone. Boarding houses on the hill dream of Queen Victoria still. Thread City, where the looms of gold in the factories have turned to stone. Haunted houses on the hill dream of Queen Victoria still. Thread City, where the looms of gold in the factories have turned to stone. Well, I love Cubism. It's my favorite style. When I see a Cubist painting, I just got to smile. But there's one painter I'm his biggest fan. He's the father of Cubism, and his name's Cézanne. Cézanne, Cézanne, the father of Cubism. Well, some people say that it was Picasso. Other people say it was De Chirico. I heard somebody say it was Modigliani. I said, step outside, it was Paul Cézanne. Cézanne, 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 the father of Cubism. Oh, when Paul Cézanne sat down to paint a flower or a face, he had to solve a problem, 3-dimensional space. He said, form is content, smoke de gitane. He was right, now he's Paul Cézanne. So sexy, eh? Well, Cézanne's father wanted him to be an avocat. Paul just looked at him and said, "Mais non, pa, I wanna be a painter. Ooh, I know I can." Now his Cooper's in the Louvre. He's Paul Cézanne, 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 the father of Cubism. We know I had an aunt. She was in a coma. So we loaded up her bed, and we took her down to MoMA. We wheeled her through the door. You wouldn't believe what we did. We sat up and started screaming, "Hey, where is that Paul Cézanne?" Cézanne. father of cubism. Paul Cézanne is famous now, and I think that's really nice. His melons look like footballs, his apples look like dice. So all you Whitney haters, get out your brush and pen. Maybe the next Paul Cézanne, Cézanne. Cézanne, Cézanne, the father of cubism. Oh, 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 Cézanne, Cézanne. Cézanne, Cézanne. Cézanne, Cézanne, the original father of cubism.
Sounds like someone's having a little fun upstairs. I hope you enjoyed the folk music tonight as much as I did. I think later I may kick on a little Crosby, Stills and Nash, sometimes young. I'd also like to thank my close personal friend and director, Mr. Dennis Whitney, for coming on tonight and having a little fun with us. And as always, I would like to thank Mr. Brian Rootsworth, my faithful cameraman, always at my side, ready and willing. And of course, my only true love, besides my profession, of course, Ms. Davis Elliott, my screenwriter. Thank you. And thank you for watching another fine edition of the Alexander Sanford Show. I hope to see you again next week. Have a good night. By the hand, take me by the hand, pretty mama, and dance with your daddy all night long. I like to hear some funky Dixieland. Pretty mama, come and take me by the hand.
By the hand.
Take me by the hand, pretty mama, and dance with your daddy
All night long.
Ooh, I love it, love it.
It's gonna end up going in, you know that.
Stick that in at the end. You know I like to stick it in at the end there.
Oh, absolutely.